Hello twin flames, this is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. Welcome to my channel, whether you're new or you're coming back. I appreciate you all, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And today we're going to do our classic read. So yesterday I did a special edition on Jupiter-Neptune conjunction, which is, by the way, the thing that I forgot to mention, special because Neptune is such a big deal, and it's a completely new phase that it's entering. Neptune is a planet that has, it's quite far from the sun, right? It has a very long trajectory around the sun, etc., etc. So you can look up some more information about it. But basically, if it's moving into a new position, it's for a long time. So we're basically entering a certain year, a cycle, a completely different big phase that will affect us globally as a global collective for the next 13 years. Of course, with certain individual flavors depending on your natal chart and other things. Mostly whether you will be in alignment with the overall energies or not. Right? Could be easier, could be harder, could be more fun, could be more dull and boring, it depends. But anyways, yeah, so that was like an important entering of that phase. Today we're gonna do just the usual read, and I know that some of you have missed my Hermit Tarot cards with the messages, and we're definitely gonna get some messages between the twins today. Right, I'm gonna start with an Oracle deck, and today I'm back to one of my favorite ones, the Wisdom of the Oracle. Let's see what we have for Divine Feminines first of all. What's happening? What's the phrase on the street? And just as a reminder, we have a full moon in Libra coming up this Saturday, so just a few days from now. So there will be another special edition reading for that. I actually almost forgot about it, but I saw the moon tonight. I saw the moon so bright and clear in the sky, and it's not full moon yet, but it's very close to it. I'm like, oh, full moon, of course, it's this week. We're just moving through all these events, and before we know it, there's going to be an eclipse at the end of the month. And I think there is one more important planetary movement towards the end on the 27th, but I'll let you know closer to this date. So the feminine has got Yang card. Yay! So this is about taking active steps. Remember, we spoke about it the day before yesterday. So before my special read, we definitely spoke about this kind of transition and the twins stepping into a less comfortable and natural role, but still this is part of the rebalancing journey, right, where the feminine is supposed to embrace the masculine energy as well, so that those two live in harmony within. The same story for the masculines, because each of us have both of those energies. So yeah, we'll see what that is about. What kind of action is expected. If that doesn't ring a bell to you, though, I'm getting that this is kind of like with all this fire in the hands, I'm getting that this is something that you've been kind of preparing. If we think about it as a snowball, not a fireball, it's like when you work on the snowball first, you kind of you make it tight, you make it a decent snowball, and then you're prepared to fire it up, right? It's something similar for me that it was important to do the prep. Now you're ready to fire it up. Okay, what do we have for the masculine? Oh, number 7, to the sea. Yeah, and this is, guess what? No big surprise. This is the feminine energy. 7 is generally very spiritual, very intuitive card, so it's not so much, it's actually here it's to the sea, meaning it's movement, but it's an intuitive movement. It's a movement of your kind of emotional body. It's not so much that you actually have to literally go somewhere physically. It's more about you know, multidimensional travel and going within yourself and, you know, peeling off those layers, new layers of the onion, to know even more about who you are, what your story is, and you know, what your mission is. Look at this person here. I actually love this card so much because this is a fairy, actually, if you look at it closer, and she's traveling in this paper boat, and she's got, like, you know, different equipment. It's supposed to be like a proper boat, and she's very seriously reading something, you know, maybe looking at the map, planning her route, kind of making sure that she's on the right track, that she's going where she's supposed to go, where she wants to go. Another interesting point is this figure in the distance in the sky. You know, some man, actually it's a young man, yeah, but somebody looking over her, I would say. He's smiling, right? I don't know whether it's somebody who she's traveling to, or it's somebody from the family who's kind of like guiding. It's like an angel guidance, but definitely there's some support there, some energetic support. Okay, let's get into the tarot cards. For the feminine, we've got Ten of Cups. It kind of flipped a couple of times, so I'll put some clarifiers to see whether it's more of a reversed energy or more of a upright. What about masculines? What's the energy right now? It's also on the side. That's just how it's supposed to be, right? We need to cater for both of the scenarios. That's what I'm getting, yeah. 10 of Wands on the side. Oh boy, masculines are always working on that. And I'm almost picturing masculines with this, you know, pile of branches that they're kind of carrying, a very heavy one. And they're always like hustling and bustling and moving things around and, you know, trying to make some money and stuff. That's funny. What's going on is the connection. Eight of Wands. Okay, let's get into the clarifiers. We have Eight of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. That's good. Let's clarify the King of Cups for the feminines. Okay, 2 cards, Devil in reverse and Ace of Cups. Gotcha. Please clarify 10 of Wands for the masculine. Of Cups, and please clarify 8 of Wands for the connection. Okay, bottom of the deck, the moon. Yes, I was just talking about full moon. And if you remember, full moon is a time when we're kind of reaping the fruits of our labor, and we're summarizing how this cycle went for us. So just give yourself a think today on at least like your first feeling about the last 4 weeks, right? Because the lunar month is 28 days. Right? How was it for you? Where were you? What was going on for you? You know, and I mean, not just in your life, but it could include, of course, things that are happening in the world that impacted your well-being, you know, the way you lived your life during this time, right? All of this is important. Maybe even another person, something happened in their life. It didn't directly impact you, but it impacted you indirectly because you were around and you were in that energy as well, right? So that all of that counts, because sometimes when we talk to people, they focus on energies of, or they focus on events that happened in their specific life, like individual personal life. But we are not just impacted by ourselves. We're not an island that like living in a bubble, right? We live in society, or even among other people. At least like 97% of us do live like that. So of course it's important to take into consideration what was happening around us, not just to us, but around us as well. Okay, so for the feminine, we have King of Cups clarified by the Devil and the Ace of Cups. And it's interesting, I actually didn't notice it before, but this King of Cups actually has a cup in one hand and it's like a tube, a lab tube in another hand. So I almost feel like, you know, feminines want to believe the love story so much, and like the love with capital L, that sometimes they almost are ready to fabricate certain things, right? They want to take a shortcut. They want to, this devil energy speaking to us, they want to just go for it, right? Because that person is right there, right across the room, right, you know, in 2 feet away from them. So why not just go for it? Why not, you know, close your eyes that some things are not right, or they're not behaving properly, or whatever, right? There may be an urge to do that, but that's where you're supposed to come back to your heart space and remember that it's, I mean, you can do it, of course, right? It's gonna be, you can treat it as a scientific experiment with this tube and the cup, right? You can see what the reaction is gonna be when you combine those ingredients, right? It's like kids having some fun at school, you know, during in a chemistry lab, when they decide to, you know, mix things up in a naughty kind of way. Right? So it will be useful. You will benefit from it whichever way you go, whether it's going to be the loving way or the you know, the devil, the low vibe way. But just be ready that there will be another cycle, and that's the crossroad, right? That's the crossroad energy, because we're at the end of the current cycle, and we see the same for the masculine with the 10 of Wands, right? How do you want to finish this? On a high note, the loving note, where part of the loving is love yourself and love your DM, to see that maybe the time is not there yet, or to see that love sometimes means giving space or taking space for yourself, you know, or you just want to go with a shortcut because whatever, there are expectations from other people, you're getting impatient, you have your fears that the person may disappear or whatever, right? That's part of the journey we all get, and whatever stories I hear, there's always something where there is kind of a risk or a threat that our path will not cross anymore, that we will just separate and go different ways, like even, you know, in terms of communication and geographically, but for some people it's very important to agree to that, because it's part of your trust in the universe and the divine plan, and also not becoming codependent, right? That's another, that was the word I was looking for with this card. Not making this relationship codependent under any circumstances. That's one of the biggest lessons. For the masculines, we have so yeah, in terms of the action, I would say the yang that we saw, I would say that right now you may feel like you will be asked to take a specific action, even if it's just making a decision, but to go a certain way. It's not just inside, like, what do I think about it? Do I think with love? Do I think more with, you know, in the low vibe space? No, it's about actually, you will have to, you know, do something in 3D based on the decision that you've made, based on what the way you decided to treat this situation. That's the action, that's the yang energy. So it looks like with that snowball metaphor, you had time to kind of mold it over, to think about it, to kind of play out different scenarios. Now it's time to actually settle on a decision. For the masculine, we have 10 of Wands clarified by 3 of Cups. So this is the divine masculine is working very hard through some karma. And this is the image that they have on the back of their head, where they would like to be by themselves in a quiet sea, enjoying themselves, going somewhere nice and fun, and not having to worry about all the earthly troubles, right? But in reality, that's where they are right now. And again, they have a chance this week to kind of summarize the cycle and to leave some of this burden behind, right? To learn from specific karmic scenarios that they faced in the last 4 weeks. Or they may go into another cycle and keep learning, keep pulling, keep pushing, keep carrying the weight of this, whatever that karma is, on their shoulders. It could be a karmic partner. For a lot of them, I feel like it is. It could be somebody or something else. For the connection, we have 8 of Wands clarified by Knight of Swords. I like actually that this has like a bow here, and this to me looks like, if you take this as a story, this looks like arrows from the bow. So it's kind of like long distance communication, something surprising. Yeah, so maybe there will be some sort of unexpected opportunity for communication, right? But there's definitely a desire for it on the back of it. So even if it will seem like a surprise or like a chance, you know, we met by chance yesterday, but you know, the twins will know that they were looking forward to it, to that conversation or that meeting or whatever it was. Like they knew it was supposed to happen. For a few of you, I'm getting it's not a pleasant conversation, and that's why you were kind of dragging having it. But both of you know deep down that you needed to clear the air and something had to be said. Okay, to finish off, I'm gonna pull some cards from the Hermit Tarot deck. First of all, from masculines to feminines. One sword and have I lost everything? Yeah, you see, that's the communication part. So divine masculine wants some clarity, for sure. They are not, like, that's what I'm getting, like, it's a confused energy of they're not really sure where you two are, what's gonna happen next, and you know, masculines don't like that. None of us do, but masculines even less so. They need something, you know, they need substance, they need clarity, they need to understand. So yeah, there is this desire to communicate and to get clarity. From the feminines, we have you are my everything, and I feel the same way. A lot of love. So I'm getting that in this scenario, love is supposed to take over, right? And you know, forgiveness and transmutation is gonna help not just divine feminine to move on to bigger and better space and opportunities, but it will also energetically help divine masculine. But don't treat it as that message as a sign that you're supposed to just forgive and forget everything and anything that they've done, or the way they are treating you right now, right? This is, we're talking about in an energetic space, and most importantly, finding that balance and inner peace for yourself. So even in this scenario, I'm getting another message for a few of you where you are not actually gonna get physical communication with these cards. It's gonna stay on the energetic realm. Don't worry about it. Don't look for ways to say something, like because you feel like you need to save the day or they need to hear the message. Everything will happen in divine timing. And for now, for you, divine feminine, it's important to focus on this nurturing, this loving energy for yourself, to yourself. Get into that King of Cups, right? King of Cups doesn't really share too much of his feelings and emotions, but it's somebody emotionally intelligent and somebody who has these feelings and emotions figured out, and is not afraid of them. He's embracing them proudly. You see, in this case, even experimenting. Okay, I hope this has been good for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love you all, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.